What's this?
Hello, welcome to the Freak Show. Bumpy McSquigums here. I want to thank you all for joining me as I start out my coverage of Bastard Bonds. I don't know. I figured I'd go with a kind of obnoxious and over-the-top intro. It's fine. Anyhow, it's by Big Fingers, and it released June 15th, 2016, and you guys can grab it for 10% off if you grab it before June 22nd, 2016. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, what is Bastard Bonds? Well, it is a game. I know, shocking. It's a let's play of a game. Who knew? No, it's a tactical strategy RPG game. It's quite a bit of fun. I played around with it a little bit. I actually had to redo this recording because my microphone reset, and if you guys heard my last Salt and Sanctuary episode 7 episode, it also reset for that, and it was not noticeable because of whatever reason. Anyhow, long story short, I was unable to redo that episode because it saves, when you progress. I am able to redo this episode. Now, after this first episode, if it changes again or something happens, we're just going to have to live with the quiet voices. That being said, let's hop in and get started. Alright, so it's time to create a new character. Or is it? The door creaks open and a guard takes you by the arm. Expressionless, he takes you into a dim courtroom and leads you up to a podium where you stand alone before a row of white wigs and black robes. A hush falls over the assembly and the judge speaks. Take record of the defendant's likeness for the court archives. Alright, character creation is a go. It's time to create our nude character. That's right, we have pixelated nudeness, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little disturbing, but it's a thing. Anyhow, if you guys want to see all the pixelated nudity in its finest, we have men, we have women, we even have nude orcs. That's right, folks. Your day isn't complete until you've seen a naked, pixelated orc. Who knew that would be a thing? Junk hanging out, butts hanging out. I mean, the orcs, they're pretty nasty. Anyway, I'm going to go with this dude right here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go with black. And we're going to put some tights on, some pants here. Yay, he's less nude than he once was. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to create ourselves a beard. And then we're going to craft ourselves a helmet. And by a helmet, I just basically mean a hood. So here we are. We have a blue beard. We have black pants. We have a black hat. Because we are the Black Hatter. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm going to throw my socks on, because that's how I roll. And then I'm going to throw on my sandals on top of my socks. Things are coming together rather nicely. And what are we going to do now? What are we going to do? We're going to go with this. And then we're going to go with... Oh, wait. Before we do that, we want a touch of color here. We're going to do that, and then we're going to do this. But don't you worry, folks. We're going to actually knock both of those down just a scotch. There we go. And then we will want a gold belt buckle. There it is. It is looking rather fanciful and nice. And then we're going to go with the neck drapey thing there. And we're going to go with an upper arm sleeve. And then we're going to go with, I think we're going to go with some sort of, yeah, something like that. So we're going to go with like red fisty things. There we go. And I think we're looking pretty solid. I think that is going to be what our character looks like, and let's roll out with it. I've played around with this quite a bit, guys and gals. There's a lot of different stuff you can do. You can change which is on first, and then which is on last. So you can get a very unique and exciting look for you. Over here, the skin tone change, you can do the idle animation. Basically just changes what he does while he's standing around. Some of them are nauseating, like that one. Some of them are okay. I just like the default one. It's okay. Alright, let's proceed with the trial. State your name for the court. My name is going to be Bluebeard McGee. There we go. Bluebeard McGee is going to be our boy. Bluebeard McGee, you stand accused before the court. Know you the charges brought against you. If you guys didn't know, this game is considered mature, and, well, with the pixelated nudity, first off. Secondly, we have all these horrible, horrible crimes we could have committed. I'm sure the language could be bad, or we'll see, guys and gals. Anyway, also the name of the game is Bastard Bonds, so there's that. Anyhow, let's go read the wonderful list of horrible crimes we could have committed against our fellow man and or woman. and then we will decide. Now, you can maintain your innocence, or you can say, yeah, I did it, I'm a criminal, what you gonna do about it? So, it's up to you. Alright, we could have murdered, raped, or deserted. It doesn't seem like all three of those should have been on the same line. Like, maybe the desertion should have been something else, like, I don't know, cannibalism might have been up there, because it's down here. That would have probably been a better choice for the top three. Alright, so then we have thievery, blackmail, forgery, heresy, abduction, racketeering, apostasy, arson, quackery, extortion, banditry, slavery. I have no idea what this is. Miscegenation? I don't know what that is. Assault, desecration, conspiracy, rioting, necromancy, treason, blasphemy, vandalism, indecency, malediction, cannibalism, fraud, buggery, and profiteering. And then, of course, you can let the game randomly decide what it is that you did by saying you don't know. And that's what I'm going to do. You have been accused of peddling the healer's trade. Oh, that's quackery. Oh, okay, because you're a doctor. Okay, I got it. I understand now. What say you to these charges? I am not a quack. I am a healer. I swears it. You claim you are innocent, but the court has already heard the testimony of a most honorable witness against you. Your plea rings false, and the court notes your deception. I should have read it in the voice. Like this. Bluebeard McGee, the court has deliberated upon your fate. Your crime shall afford you much time to consider your action. 5 years of your life shall be paid in penance. You are hereby stripped of your citizenship and judged guilty. You shall be branded with your crime and interned at the stocks of Lukatt to await the execution of your sentence. May God have mercy upon your soul. Thank you. You are taken back to your cell, where you are held down by several guards as your neck is burned with hot iron. You are forever branded a quack. Over the next few days, you are taken by boat to the island of Lukatt. An angry wind whips heavy rain as you are put on a lifeboat with another man in chains and jettisoned some distance from the shore. The current carries you rapidly toward a short cove where men in guards' uniforms await your arrival, or wait to receive you. Without a word, you are dragged from the boat and up the path to the old fortress that houses the stocks, and thrown, soaked and shivering, into your cell where you will wait for the execution of your sentence. Something, however, seems strange. Nobody comes to check on you. Nobody comes to feed you. Time passes at an agonizing crawl, and it seems you are being left to die here, despite your sentence. Then, after who knows how long, there is a voice at your cell door that snaps you back to attention. Hey, you, Doc, eat this. You don't look so good. A roll of bread drops in through the bars and tumbles towards you. As you turn to it, the voice continues. I have a proposition for you, but first I need to know you really are what you say you are. Tell me, are you really a quack? I am not a quack. I am a medical professional. You've maintained your innocence from the beginning. I believe you. A young man in a guard's uniform steps up to the bars and begins fumbling with a keyring. My name is Grieve, it is. I thought I was coming here to keep people safe, but the other guards are thugs. They don't care who deserves to be here and who doesn't. I'm getting out of here, but there's no way I'm leaving an innocent person in this bed. The door clicks open and Grieve looks straight at you. This might be a bit rough. You got any experience with a weapon or anything? I might. Alright, so here we are, guys and gals. We are on character creation. Well, this whole thing has been character creation. However, this is where we actually get down to the Magoo of the poo. I don't know. This is where we get down to what we're doing. So I'm going to read through all of these various things in some random order that I'm going to come up with right now. And we are going to create our character. Class our character. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, fight. Improves your melee damage and helps you cripple your enemies and kill them faster. Alright, so we get 3 HP for that. Guard reduces incoming damage and makes enemy attacks less effective. That gives us 4 HP. And Labor. Labor is used to perform strength or endurance-based tasks. Requires the skill hard working to attempt. Improving Labor will give you 3 HP. Then we have the same thing, but for dexterity and improvisation. And this one also improves combat initiative. And instead of hard working, we need to have crafty. Gives us 2 HP. Finally, we have Weave, which is for magical and academic tasks. But the skill needed is Ritual, and it also grants 2 HP. And we'll come over here to Hunt. It improves the frequency and power of critical hits with both weapons and magic, as well as improving your combat initiative. Improving Hunt grants 2 HP. We also have Dodge. It's, well, basically you can totally avoid all damage from both magic and weapons, and it'll also improve your combat initiative with 3 HP gained. Blast spells attack from a range and apply status effects to both enemies and allies. Improving Blast gives you 2 HP. And finally, Ward is used to resist and counter offensive magic. Ward spell heals and invigorates allies. Improving Ward grants 3 HP. Well, there you have it, folks. That is what it is. Alright, since we're a Doc, I think we're going to probably go with Ward. We'll put 4 points in that. We're going to put 2 up into Blast, 2 up into Weave. I'm going to go with 1 more into Ward. That gives us the ability to heal. You and adjacent allies regenerate hit points whenever you gain the defense status, so whenever we defend ourselves. Cool. And I'm going to put 1 point up into this, so once we do have some magical spells that we can cast, we will actually be able to hit and maybe critically hit with them a little bit more. Plus, it'll allow us to move a little bit faster. Alright, folks, let's escape from this cell and begin our journey in earnest. Grieve nods and turns toward the hole. Don't worry, between the two of us, we'll be fine. What is the character of your response? Alright, so this is where we get to determine our personality type. This affects in-game banter as well as the dialogue your character will use when appearing in other users' games. So apparently, Bluebeard McGee will actually show up in other folks' games. Who knew that would be a thing? Alright, so we could be adventurous, angry, arrogant, heroic, insane, lewd, miserable, pathetic, revelrous, terse, timid, or violent. I'm going to be timid. I'm going to be a little scaredy boy. You step out of the cell and into the hallway. Just don't leave me behind! Alright, and there we have it, folks. Our journey begins. The escape from Red October. Wait, no, that's not it at all. Your companion points toward the north. The exit is that way. I hope you all for it. Alright, I'm going to stop with the crazy, really bad, horrible voices and accents and things. Oh my gosh, we're naked. What happened? Oh my god, after like 35 different tries, I finally got my guy to actually have clothing. Who knew that would be a thing? Alright, so everything is set. I did actually end up misclicking once, like in my first attempt. This is literally my 7th attempt to get my character clothed, by the way. Just so you guys know how much frustration I've had here. Anyhow, I ended up misclicking one of the early on ones, and it turns out if I did it the way, if I put 1 point into Hunt, 1 point into Weave, and then I think like 5 or 6 into Ward, and then 3, I don't know. Whatever it is, it turned out that I actually have both the offensive and defensive spells. Both the heal and, you guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, and the actual offensive casting spell of Doom. So, pretty cool stuff. Alright, now we can actually get into the game proper. We're no longer a giant nude man. We are now a clothed, weird-looking individual. We look very nomadic. Alright, we're going to click over here, and we are going to right-click to examine. Left-clicking on the map will always be a movement. Right-clicking will always be an interaction. Objects that can be interacted with will show feedback text when you mouse over them. Unless you are telekinetic, you have to get close in order to interact. Alright, so we're going to come over here. And we're going to try again. There is a guard waiting in the next room, and you will have to fight him. People with high fight and hunt ratings will deal lots of damage in close combat, while people with high guard or dodge ratings will indeed be good at soaking damage or avoiding it altogether. People with high blast ratings can do a lot of damage when they are not in close combat, and high ward ratings allow you to heal wounds and disrupt enemy magic. Try to position fighters so that the enemy is forced to come to you. This will let you have the first strike in close combat. Sometimes having someone in close combat who just defends themselves is more helpful than having them attack. Well, there you go, folks. We're going to move over here. Actually, I think we're going to move here. Ah, sorry, you hit tab to switch between targets. There we go, or characters. Alright, we're going to chill here. I am going to cast a spell. I believe right there. We'll defend ourselves. And let this guy come toward us. And there he is. Alright, so, before we begin this onslaught, now there's a feature that the game has that doesn't seem to be working properly. I don't know if I'm just totally misunderstanding it. You guys can read this later on with me and maybe explain it a little bit better, but from what I'm to understand, and I'll tell you now, and then again, we'll see if what I tell you is what it says. Anyhow, there is a risk factor when attacking. If you just do your normal right click, you'll just attack. However, if you hold shift and then right click, you use a risk attack. Now, risk attacks are supposed to obviously be risky. It fills up your risk meter, and you have a chance of fumbling the attack. When you fumble the attack, it ends your turn, makes you vulnerable for the next turn. However, when you use the risk attacks, it's not supposed to end your turn. Now, this is all stuff that will be on a sign later on down the road. So I'm trying to explain it now, we'll reread it then, and then if I'm still wrong or I'm not understanding something, please explain it to me. Anyhow, so if we hold shift, I should be able to continually attack until I fumble, is the way I understand how it works. It doesn't end my turn anytime I use a risk attack, but I do risk fumbling. Once I fumble, I end the turn, I'm more vulnerable, right? So that makes sense. However, watch, I'm going to hold shift, that's what this sparkly stuff is, it's saying that I'm holding shift. I'm holding shift, I right click, I cast my spell, and it jumps to my next character's turn. Didn't go to my turn, jumped to the next character turn. I don't know why. Well, we're going to use a risk attack with him as well, and bam. Big hit there, and now it's the enemy's turn. It should still be my turn, and yet it isn't, and I don't know why, I don't know how. It's not cool. We're probably going to fail this attack, but we'll give it a shot anyway. Nope, we did not fumble. And we got the Daredevil thing. Alright, so that was okay. Alright, there's a sandwich on the ground. It took me a while to figure out how to do this. Basically, you get near the sandwich, you right-click on it, and then you put it into your backpack slots. There's 2 of them here for each character. You left-click, it goes in there. If you need to use it, you would hold down the right mouse button until that full thing lit up, and you're able to use it. That way you don't accidentally use it. Alright, you can switch between characters 1, 2, 3, and 4, or you can tab between them. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Alright. Now we're going to come in here. I've done this a few times, guys and gals, just so you know. I had to redo the recording, and anyway. So I kind of know what I'm doing in this first level. Still don't quite understand the risk thing, but I'm hoping maybe it's just locked this way in the beginning. But if it isn't, either the game is bugged or I just don't understand. The small iron key has been left on the table here. We grab the key. This kind of key is generic and will fit any door that requires a normal key. Alright, now it is sometimes hard to see, but there's a door right here. Come over to that, right click, and ta-da, we're in another room. There's nothing in this other room, but there's another door. You can open that door, and there's nothing in this room either. However, it's still good to explore, because there could be hidden various things all over the place in here. So we're going to left click to move around, we're going to come over here, we're going to right click the door and enter another room. There's nothing here. We're going to come over here, open this door. Again, there's nothing in this room, but there could be stuff in like the skeleton pile. Always look around and see. If you wait around for a bit, it will show you. This door is locked. We're going to right click, we're going to unlock it using our key. We're going to come in here, I'm going to call our boy in, and we're going to sit here and wait a few seconds, and it will show you various different things you can interact with or do things with right here. Shall we see what that is? Grieve says this. So these 2 things are interactable. A tattered scroll and an old skeleton. Let's read about the scroll first. I finally worked out the spell that will open that damned mechanical door. Now I just need to wait for the right moment to use it. This scroll is a weave challenge. Challenges require points and utility skills, in this case weave. Be careful though, you can be injured if you fail to overcome the challenge. We can try, but we don't have the ability to do it at all. It's out of our league, and it won't even let us attempt it. In fact, we're not able to do any of the ones that are in this area. So, something to be aware of. Alright, still in the grasp of the dusty corpse is a key. Looks like he never got a chance to use it. Alright, so there we go. We get another normal key, which is good, because if we didn't, that would have been the end of the game, because we would have failed. There is a thing here to unlock. I'm going to unlock it. And I'm going to step back. I'm going to switch over to my boy here and have him go to the front lines. Come forward, and we're going to defend with him. This guy's going to waddle on down. He is angry. I'm okay with him being angry. I'm not entirely certain how his skill works. Like, he's got the 1. It's fine. Alright, we're going to try to risk it up again. Big old blast there, 11 damage. I'm going to risk with him as well. Another 11, and we took him out of the fight immediately. Alright, we're going to come over here. Oh, we should read the sign first. Okay. Give your party members a chance to evaluate their surroundings by holding still. Your party members will find the key to this door if you let them. Press the R key or the spyglass here on the left side of the screen to show items that may be loose on the floor. The guard dropped a sandwich. If you haven't already picked it up, pick it up and put it in an inventory slot by right-clicking it and then clicking the slot. If someone was injured in the fight with that guard, select that person with the tab key or the numbers 1 through 4, and then right-click and hold to eat the sandwich. Food is reasonably plentiful and cannot be used in combat, so use it to keep your health topped up or topped off. Alright, we're going to switch over to our boy. I'm going to press the R key, and it does show anything that's loose on the ground. Alright, we're going to put the sandwich in our inventory. I'm going to step back one. He's going to step up. Now this guy's going to come on over. He is angry. He is ready. He is eager. He is going to slap us. We're going to risk it up and throw a blast. It's going to only do 7 this time. A little bit less than I would like. We have 11 there. Another hit. And another big risky play. And Daredevil again. Sweet. So we can waddle on over here. Grab the food. We'll put the sandwich up on him. And we're actually going to use it. Make sure you select the character you want to use the food on. Doesn't matter whose backpack it's in. It's whoever you have selected. So we're going to use the food. He is now back to max heal. We're going to come over here. We're going to light the fire pit. I don't know why. It doesn't seem to do anything but light up the area. We'll read this. You've noticed the enemies acting in reckless bursts. This is where we're talking about the risk thing, guys and gals. You can use the shift key in combat when you select your action to perform it recklessly instead. A reckless action increases your risk gauge every time you perform one. But it only ends your turn if you fumble. This is 100% untrue from what I've seen so far. The more risk you have, the more likely a fumble will occur. Fumbled actions fail and expose you to extra damage until your next turn. So it's bad to fumble, but it does end our turn. Again, I don't know if it's just one particular level or what. Cautious actions, which are normal actions, will never fumble regardless of risk, but they will immediately end your turn. Managing risk effectively by deciding when to be reckless and when to be cautious is the key to success. Daredevils, however, contribute bonus experience to the party, so it may on occasion be worthwhile to throw caution to the wind to experiment some. Well, we've managed to get Daredevil twice, but again, the risk thing does not seem to be working the way it says it's supposed to. Alright, looks like we have another enemy coming our way. We'll move over here and prepare for battle. Alright. I'm just going to do a regular attack this time. I'm not going to risk. And it's going to do the exact same thing. It ended our turn. Or, see, I don't know. See, like, here it says next. Maybe it doesn't end our turn. Maybe his turn didn't end. I don't know. I'm not sure. We're going to risk it with him. Oh, we killed him. Alright, cool. Alright, I guess I'll come over to the sandwich and move it there. It could be that, like, the next turn, like, it puts you over to the next turn, and we were just all fighting within the same turn. That could have been true, too. Because they seem to use risky attacks as well. I'm not sure, but they seem to be able to move twice for every one time we get to move, and I'm not sure what that's all about either. You found an old battered dagger. Not great, but it's better than nothing. Alright, right-click on an item on the ground to pick it up, and then drop it into the inventory or equipment slot. You can change equipment as much as you want in combat, but only during your turn. We're going to put that on our boy over here because we only get upgrades when we're fighting, or when we have weapons that have mana on them. Alright, we'll come over here and we will read the sign. A door displaying a gear icon is locked by a mechanism. This usually means you will need to find a switch somewhere that will release the lock. In this case, you can bypass the mechanism by succeeding on one of the 3 challenges. Unfortunately, we don't have the skills to do so. If neither of your party members are qualified for these challenges, you'll have to find the switch. Getting an excellent result on a challenge gives bonus experience to other rewards if the person challenging is properly qualified. Well, unfortunately, we do not have those abilities. So, what we're going to do now is come over here. I'm going to call my guy forward. I don't know. I think he's stuck. Yeah, he seems to have got himself trapped there. I don't know exactly how that happened, but it seemed to have happened. Alright, hopefully he decides to join us this time around. In fact, I am going to move behind him. He is going to move up. He's going to call me to him, and we're going to open this door. And there is a guard. Can I shoot that far away? I don't think so. Oh, I can. Get wrecked, buddy. Alright, we're going to defend with him. The guard's going to come on over. And we're going to try again. Camaraderie! And Daredevil. And we got defense automatically out of it. And he seemed to double attack us, and it looks like it's our turn again. I'm going to cast another spell. And our risk meter is going up. We're going to hit him with risk as well. He's going to attack. I'm going to end our turn this time with a safe attack or cautious attack. 12 damage there. We're going to go for some risk. Only 3. We're not doing super good on his damage side. Oh, we fumbled. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, risk again. And a nasty hit onto us. We're going to risk it again, and we took him out. Alright, we're going to om-nom up on some food with our boy there, Grieve. And what did we just find? We found ourselves a potion. And the sign will explain the potion to us. We're going to chill inside the room for a minute here to see what's going on. Alright, apparently there's something on this table. There's an iron key on the table over here. We have another iron key. Let's go read the sign. Like food, potions restore health and often have other beneficial effects. Unlike food, potions can be used in combat, so they are great for emergencies. You can only drink a potion on your own turn, but it can be used from anybody's backpack, and it doesn't use up your turn, so you can drink a potion and still take another action. Alright, and the mechanism has been released. We found the switch, and there is one more guy in here that we're going to have to deal with. Now that we do have the key, we're going to unlock it. Don't let your guard down! Alright, so it's up to us to cast a spell. No risk this time. Just right. No risk, just right. He's going to come over and he's going to slap us. Again, I don't know why they get 2 actions to our 1. That's probably what's throwing me off. Anyway, we're going to try risk this time around. I'm going to try it again, and that's enough. We annihilated him. He dropped another sandwich. We're going to put that into our space there. This place makes me so nervous, man. Makes me super nervous. Alright, what do we find? Armor goes in the middle equipment slot. You can only have a single protective item equipped at a time, or at once. Alright, well, we're going to run on over here, and we're going to pick that up and put that on our boy. It gives us 30 protection and 5 evasion. That is pretty sweet. We're going to come over here now. A torch can be equipped in your accessories slot. Accessories have lots of different effects, to try them out. Okay. Well, he has all the fun stuff, but I guess we'll take this too and let him have a torch. So now everything is brighter. He's holding a sword, a shield, and a torch. The dude's got 3 arms. What? I know, right? It looks like there's nothing else in this room. Our mechanism has been opened, and it's time for us to go through the old Dora-Rooney here. Dora-Reno, as it were. Let's open. Open the door. There are double guards. Don't let your guard down. That's kind of ironic and slightly humorous. Alright, we're going to defend. We're going to defend as well. And they are going to waddle on down. And they're going to be kind of... Oh, I thought they'd be trapped. That actually hurts. No! Oh, gosh, I made a mistake. Alright, we got to get away from that guy with our boy here. Or not. Or I could just do terrible things to myself for no reason whatsoever. We're going to defend with him. Not, there we go. There we go. Alright, now we're going to start casting spells for realsies. Alright, we took him out. He's still fine. We're going to go and risk it a little bit here. Risk it like a Triscuit and a biscuit. Oh, we fumbled. Alright. Well, he didn't fumble, so it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Alright, well, we don't necessarily need to use any of the food, but since we have it, and we have more than we can carry, we might as well use it. I can't believe we're going to make it to the end, guys. This is actually probably taking me like not 7 hours. It's probably taking me at least 2 hours, if not more, time spent between trying over and over and over again and having issues pop up and whatnot. Alright, we're going to open the door, and there is a lever over here that will open the final door. The mechanism has been released. We're going to come up over here. Oh goodness, did you hear something? I'm very timid, by the way. Your health is fully restored between levels, so there is no need to use up food before leaving, but we only have so much backpack space. Okay, any items left on the floor will disappear when you leave, however, so make sure you haven't left anything you'd rather keep. Once you escape from the stocks, you will not be able to return. Be sure you are finished before leaving. Alright folks, I'm going to open the door, and before we head out, we're going to read this sign. You can press and hold F1 to get extra information on most screens. Give it a try here, and then again after you leave here. Alright, F1 will show you the follow mode, the call allies, skill book, search for dropped items. We can exit to the island map. WASD will allow us to pan the camera around. Space will identify the selected individual that we have. Shift will allow us to act recklessly. Tab will cycle through the different people. Toggle map transparency with control. Items and equipment. Equipment can be changed in combat only during your turn. All allies' backpacks can be accessed freely. Consuming items in combat that does not end your turn or generate risk. And then we have our gold capacity. Our gold, our capacity, and keys. And then our party inventory is down here, along with our HP. And then here's actions targeting self. Defend. Damage reduced by 50% until your next turn. Can be improved with defense skill awards. Standby allows the next combatant to act before you generate a small amount of risk. Okay. I don't know how we do standby though. I'm not entirely certain. It's just an action targeting yourself. Actions targeting allies. Heals a percentage of the allies' HP and applies enhancing effects. Requires the blast skill Emarcus. Emarcus, I guess. Action targeting enemies. Attack. Attempt to damage enemy in weapon range, subject to missing, critical hits, and of course luck. Reckless attack can be used to attack non-combatants. Cool. Blast. Attempt to damage out of range enemies with magic, subject to missing, critical hits, warding, and luck. Generates a large amount of risk. Requires Arcus in order to do that. Reckless Blast can be used to attack non-combatants. And finally, Negotiate. Release an enemy from combat with or without terms. Terms are subject to failure and require common language and can be improved with utility and skill awards. Alright, enemy target must be hesitating. Alright folks, that is pretty much the game in a nutshell. So far, there's a world map that is actually quite large. There's a ton of stuff to do. A bunch of different fights to get into. A bunch of different things to just have fun with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very first episode. Alright guys, in a true failure McSquigum fashion here, I didn't realize that I had to actually... Well, I did realize. I realized that you have to actually go through to the next area before you can save. I should have elongated the episode before I did the outro. So we're going to do that. I walked through the door. It's probably just going to look weird because I'm going to like cut it and then come back. Anyway, so I walked through the door. We had 102% experience out of that, which meant that we actually gained a level. And here we are in the level up screen. So we're going to do the level up. We're going to do whatever the next little bit of storyline is until we get to a save point. Because I forgot this game actually has save points. You can't save wherever you want. So, instead of having to start all over and do everything all over again, we're going to actually play somewhat smart for once and move along. That being said, let us continue. Alright, so what do we have here? Alright, we know about Arcus. You and adjacent allies regenerate some hit points whenever you gain the defense status. So whenever we're nearby and we defend, that's how that works. Okay. That's kind of cool. Life Drain. Whenever your spells deal damage to an enemy, you regenerate hit points. Oh, that's kind of cool. Equal to a portion of the damage. Well, we only get 1 point to spend each time. I kind of want to go with, like, Weave, too, but I feel like maybe that's not the play. The base damage of spells cast against you is reduced by a random amount. This can reduce the spell to 0 damage. That's kind of cool. Alright, well I'm going to continue to go down more in the ward tree. That's going to be the play for now. We'll probably bounce between that and the other side. Alright, continue on. That's it, right? That's all we've got? Okay. Then we'll hop on over here to Grieve. He's a level 2 soldier. He's got a lot of guard, not a lot of fight. I think we need to give him a little bit more fight, but... Gain additional maximum hit points equal to your level. That seems like that could be waited for until a little bit later on. Go with another fighty bit there. Make him hit a little harder. I think that's going to be okay. And we'll continue on. You managed to lose the pursuing guards within the space of an hour, but there is little time to celebrate your new freedom. Night is beginning to fall, and a chill fog is settling over the land. In the receding twilight, you manage to spot the mouth of a cave. It is no luxury, to be sure, but it is a good deal more appealing than the cell you left behind. And you have little choice if you want to survive the night. You and Grieve pick your way across the crags to the mouth of the cave. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I can finally save, and this is the world map. We can zoom in and see that our next spot is the Sheltered Burrow. And this whole map is going to be filled with many, many different places we're going to be able to go to and do battles and fights and all sorts of crazy stuff. Anyhow, this is where we're going to officially break off the episode. I'm going to have to edit this whole thing together because of just bad luck and reasons. But that's okay. So, if you guys enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it. If you guys want more information about the game, where to get the game, information on the developer, it'll be down below in the description of the video. Once again, the game is called Bastard Bonds. It's by Big Fingers. It released just a couple of days ago, June 15th. And if you grab it before June 22nd, you can get it for 10% off. All that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the very next episode. Until then, my name's Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you for stopping by the Freak Show, and I will see you later.